another couple of announcements from Dragon Ball Legends. Hope you guys enjoy. We're going to talk about this and also what I think that this could potentially be. So let me know in the comments what you think this will be and how they'll handle this. I think that for this, for the record, we are going to see the return of something we haven't seen for quite a while. We'll talk about that and more. Stay tuned. So jumping in, the first thing is that we'll have a network announcement, or network maintenance, excuse me. There was an announcement for that. Basically what this is that they're going to this isn't like, you know, the shop maintenance is. They are going to completely turn the game down to where you can't get in and do anything. So be sure to complete, you know, whatever you need before that. And the date is listed here, and this is JST, so you'll have to convert it. But typically, do not quote me on this, do not go based off of this, but typically, you know, sometimes there's like time sensitive stuff like your stamps or whatever. Typically whenever they do this, it does get prolonged a day, or you don't like miss your progress, because they start the maintenance at like 5 p.m. my time or something stupid like that. So you know, it is what it is. Anyways, here's the big ticket. So we have this image here, a bunch of green C's, or a green background, a bunch of C's, and then the Capsule Corp logo here. So let's see what the community thinks this is. To me, I think this is either something related to Trunks or Android 16, right? Android 16 is like a different color of green, but it's close enough to me. So right here, they've got Trunks with a green sweater on from DBS. It's a fun little call out. It'll be fun, but I don't think it's that. Let's see what else the community says here. There's a few other things in here. Some post of Rose. Another couple of posts about Trunks in the green outfit. Is that just what this is going to be? Interesting. LF Final Flash Trunks. That would actually be something I'd be really excited for. That would be really cool. Personally, for me, yeah, see, there's more. Everybody's kind of doing it. I guess that this is more or less what people are thinking. Is Trunks in this initial outfit from when, you know, he's in that, when he first goes back? Is this in the very beginning when he first goes back? Anyway, yeah, so green sweater Trunks. That is not something I've seen depicted anywhere. I don't think that that's an alternate color for him in any other game or anything like that. So yeah, it looks like this is what most people are thinking. The Piccolo let him cook me. Look at that, that face. Oh my god. So it looks like most people are thinking it's going to be that. That's interesting. I thought more people were going to be on the 16 boat. But looking at it, I mean, the thing about it, oh, Super Trunks would be so dope. Yeah, this is when he first goes back and they're showing him, hey, you know, there are other forms now, buddy. So anyway, I would be all for that. Like, seriously, I would be all for it. So anyways, the green does match though. So if I had to take a guess now after seeing this, because I hadn't seen that or thought of that, because it's such a like minor thing that if you haven't rewatched that saga recently, you probably just forget that he's even in this outfit at all. Anyway, so yeah, it's a very comparable green. Let me know any underrated options you guys may have. I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff. I was hoping to see something in here like super underrated, out of left field, like some sort of like, you know, creation or something that's like really crazy, right? But anyways, I guess it's just gonna be Trunks. Some Android 16 in here, yeah, because he does have the CC patch on, but again, it's a different shade of green. But I think if it's gonna be anything, it's gonna be one of those. So disregard my thumbnail, because I was going into this thinking it would be that, but it looks like it's just gonna be Trunks, which kind of changes the avenue for this video. Now, here's the deal. I think that it's gonna be an all-star banner. Why? You may think these are done. They could very well be done, but I don't think so. Also, I think part of the reason why they're not done completely is that there have been some variants of all-star banners lately. Like this Girls Legends pickup is like an all-star banner variant. They also had a literal all-star banner. Here it is, all-star variant banner. So they've slowly started putting these back in circulation. And the thing is, I talked about this in a video like a week or so ago, that the community hates these banners. They don't feel like the value is good enough. Not this one specifically, but like these ones where you can get the character and then go get their pack and then get the Z power for them. Community hates them, blah, blah, blah. They have to find another way to incentivize them. Seems like that's the problem with most banners in the game at this time. Like LFs had their banners kind of fixed to a degree, except for the fact that there are times where there's just one LF and like EXs or one sparking alongside. People don't like that aspect of it, but at least the pity aspect of it and the incentive is there. Otherwise, but the other banners, Ultras and All-Star banners, are just not there. But the key takeaway is that we need banners like this. Why? That doesn't mean you have to pull on them, because most people complaining probably aren't even pulling on them in the first place. I digress. We need more banners like this because the amount of characters being put into the game is at like an all-time low lately. they're putting in, some months they're putting in like 3 or 4 new summonable characters, and that's not bad, but the problem with that is that it makes the game stagnate. It means that the meta isn't evolving at the rate that it should, especially because they're putting out all these characters that are just for one tag group at a time. Like, we just got off the huge Universe Survival / Universe Rep tag buff train that they were on for like 2 months, right? With LFs and Ultras. We got all that stuff, right? So that's kind of the problem, is that it forces the meta to stagnate, whereas if they had another 3 or 4 characters coming out that were at least decent characters or relevant characters like these characters were when they came out initially, right? Or like Zamasu, things like that, that would be a nice change, and it would help the game kind of evolve. And I think that's kind of the avenue of it. My alarm's going off here, excuse me. And then another thing too is that since they're not giving us too many of these characters on those other banners, there has to be a way to release these characters that are in their backlog, right? If they're only going to give us one of these characters alongside the LFs, basically, these 1% Sparkings have quietly become the most rare type of character released in this game at this point. Seriously, they have. We're getting Ultras monthly. We're getting, well, not exactly the most rare, but they're almost the most rare, right? We get EXs all the time. We get LFs on a clock basis every month, but these guys are starting to dwindle into few numbers when they used to be the main. There was a time when they were the main released characters. Now they're not there anymore. And again, I understand the incentive part of it. I understand that people don't really want some of these characters unless they're going to be as good as like Zamasu. It's going to be a really hard sell, so we'll see. So speaking of which, the last time we had an all-star banner was on August 30th. You know the funny thing, this banner lasted for a whole 5 months, dude. Well, almost 4 months. It's 4 months in a day. Anyway, these banners last for a ridiculous amount of time. So there was one in between. This was 13. This was 14. So there is a little bit of overlap. 14 would have been live when this one was live, and a period of time while this one was up. But anyways, the key thing is that this is the last actual all-star banner, and they put this one out on the 30th of August, and then it was up until basically December. And we haven't had one since. It's been 3 months. It's time for another one, personally. So I think that that's where we're going to go with this. I think that's what's going to happen next, the next banner type. And another thing, too, is if you look at the release of the game's banners, typically, like I said, actually, this has been going on since, I believe, Future Gohan LF was the very first one. He was like January of 2021. They have been putting out LF characters every month. This is not a new LF, but they've been putting out every month in the middle of the month, around the 13th to like 17, depending on what that day falls on, because it's typically on a Tuesday, right? Whatever that day in the middle of the month kind of falls on is when they're going to put out a new LF, and they've been holding true to that for the most part. See, this one came out on February 14th, so on and so forth. However, things got a little weird this month. This month, that slot was actually taken by Ultra Rose. Ultra Rose released on the 14th of March this month, and I think the reason why that happened was because of the Battle Hour. They probably changed their schedule around a decent bit because Battle Hour, and also what that means is that they're probably going to need a period of time to kind of get their schedule back in order, and that would mean that a filler banner like this, which people, again, would probably skip, but it can generate a little bit of revenue, would be a good slide in. And another thing that's kind of leads me to think that we'll get an all-star banner is the fact that these banners, I like how this banner is just literally just as art. That's really cool, man. The animation is here. Anyways, these banners, Ultra banners, have been on a monthly basis, basically, but this one kind of seems like it got pushed out a couple of weeks because Battle Hour, if I go back and look at the dates. But the point is, Ultra banners have been popping up around the 30th, and what that means is that Ultra banners had taken the time slot of the all-star banners. The all-star banners have been popping up at that end of the month period. So to reiterate, Legends has a clock, right? Clearly, I told you that all LF banners release in the middle of the month, whatever the day falls on. And then the next week is going to typically be some form of filler banner, like, you know, not this type of new character banner, but like a filler banner, like the Legends All-Star banner for girls, like I showed a minute ago, girls pickup or whatever, filler stuff like that, reruns. They'll run the Limit Break banner, they'll rerun an old Ultra banner, whatever, some sort of filler content. But there also will be a Zenkai tied to that week in most cases, and then they'll follow that up now with an Ultra. And typically at that time, it was actually one of these banners instead in that end of the month period. And then following that, for the first week of the month, again, we're back in the period where we're getting a Zenkai / filler. And then the second week, middle of the month, we're getting an LF. That's the clock for Legends. Like clockwork, every month, very few things change with the game, right? So in this slot, basically, a long story short, unless we're getting an LF, they announced and teased a new character. So something is coming. And for the record, the last number of teasers has not been for a really, really hype character. I don't even know if it's been for, has there been a tease for a premium character in a long time? They've all been like EXs and stuff like that. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but most of them have been EXs and non like premium characters, 1% sparkings or whatever. So if they're doing a tease, it's probably not for, damn, I scrolled really far. It's probably not for anything super significant. So that being said, that leads me to believe that, you know, it's going to be something like that. And then they can slide back into their normal time slot. The banner can be out for a super long period of time. Maybe they found a way to rework it and re-incentivize it so people feel more inclined to pull on it. But it just lines up perfectly to me, I think. And that's more or less what I think is going to happen. So like I said, it's probably going to be Trunks. However, if these banners are any indication, if there's a Trunks on the banner, that doesn't mean that it's going to be something else for the future saga. Like literally right here, we see two completely different time periods. Now, this was part of the Powerful Opponent campaign where Goku Black wasn't actually a powerful opponent. Was that Goku Black or Frieza? No, Goku Black's always a powerful. It was Frieza. Frieza was not actually on the Powerful Opponent tag. This was part of that campaign. But I mean, going back here too, there's no correlation between these characters. Whis isn't on Universe Survival, right? Yeah, he's from the Resurrected F saga. Resurrection F. Okay, I didn't even know that. So yeah, like there's no correlation between these characters really. So they kind of don't have to really have correlation. So if Trunks comes out, I mean, it could be something. It could be Trunks and Android 16 for all we know. It just depends what teams they want to start filling out soon. So hope you all enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.